Hey, YouTube, Crash is back. Yeah, it's been a couple days since the last video in the Mustang. Nothing big's happened really. Still crossing fingers, everything's still it's just smooth sailing at least besides the talking, obviously. I got approved for those sealing liners. I don't know how, but somehow, some way. It's going to be next week, I believe, on the 9th. Don't quote me on that. I'll try to keep up with that. Obviously, anybody that knows already, that's going to be going in and trying out those new sweet liners, but it's going to be the test sockets. So instead of, like I do my leg ups all the time, instead of the carbon fiber, it'll be the same setup. I'm sorry to move the camera. There we go. Same setup and everything, just this clear plastic. And so like I've said before, they can just test, move where it's uncomfortable, or kind of work it around, make it the best they possibly can. And then once they ship that back, I'll wait for my next appointment, and fingers crossed with everything else besides your threads, I can go back, and I don't have words to explain. I'm not going to try to let myself, get all excited just to fall and not be so happy. I know it's not going to be the answer to everything. I know with these things, I'm not going to be able to just put them on and just walk and just, go, and everything's going to be perfect and fine and dandy. But I have a real strong feeling that it's going to be a huge, huge difference, and I'll share everything I can with y'all. Everybody that's already here already knows. Anybody new, ask whatever you want, as long as it's not super, super personal, and especially if it's about amputees or anything with that, ask away. I'll tell you everything I know, and if I don't, I'll do my best to either ask my processes or anybody along those lines that would know, and maybe try to share it with y'all. I've never mentioned this before, I don't know why, but there's a guy, he's on Facebook and a few other ones too, so those of y'all that don't have Instagram, don't worry about it. He goes by Titaniums 1000. Surprise, surprise, he lost his leg in a motorcycle accident. A lot different than mine. He got banged up really good. This dude's a superhuman. Superhero, I guess. But if y'all want to check him out, Titaniums 1000. When I was actually laying in my bed, besides hearing those beautiful V-twins and all those bikes racing by, because I was right in Lakeland, Florida, so I could hear it all, I come across them in a YouTube video. And let me talk about inspiration. It was so inspiring. I sat up, and I was in so much pain because I ripped all those cords and sat up and had all the pads and IVs, all that stuff, and sat right back down and said, all right, not right now, but when I get out of this hospital, and if I get something figured out, I'm getting back on one of those bikes. And I promise to all y'all listening, to anybody that cares, that man 100%, watching him get back on, watching him do exercises and working out with his motorcycle. That was, wow. Wow. So if y'all want to go check him out, I definitely got to give him a shout out. I just did a live with him a couple weeks ago. Obviously very awkward and unprofessional on here, but on there was a delay on my side, so for whatever reason it just seems like I keep cutting them off. But I don't know how I'd know the question before he asked it. So if y'all could bear that in mind and just do whatever if you decide to go over and check it out. Other than that, bike's running sweet. I love the exhaust. Surprise, surprise, I haven't been able to paint it or do anything yet. I got this new guy that apparently wants to hang around now. I don't know if it's the throttle. I don't know if it's just transferring from the chair to, et cetera, when I don't have my boots on. But this is something that's not going away after a couple days. So probably going to have that looked at too. Oh, yeah. I talked about the baby thing without pausing or delaying. Everything with that, smooth sailing. I already explained, heard the heartbeat. Absolutely incredible. One of the best things in the world. I don't want to rush it. I want everything to be safe, happy, and healthy, and that's all I care about. Even though I know I'm having a boy or girl, either way, it's been the same thing from the start. Happy and healthy. And hopefully full term. Just not like 15 pounds, because I'm sure that, we'll leave that alone. But other than that, I hope all of y'all out there, existing viewers, everybody else that are over watching, I hope y'all have had a good start of your new year so far. I can't complain. Today was a beautiful ride, 75 degrees, sunny and beautiful. Some crazy drivers, and those great people with boat trailers and no tail lights. That'll wake you up real quick. That's it. Nothing new. Just wanted to make an update. I want to say sorry, but I know most of y'all probably aren't mad that I've made a video. I just haven't popped one out recently. Just been a little caught up with everything and trying to figure stuff out. But next week, if I'm not too far off, once I get those ceiling liners, we'll do everything. I'll try to get more in depth with the office. I'll see what my process is and everybody's down with and what they're okay with me, with the camera, and as so professional that I am. We'll go from there. Either way, once I get out of the room, I'll show you the new legs. I'll show you the new liners, everything for anybody that cares. If not, I'm still going to make the video. I guess. I don't know why, but I'm still going to. Fingers crossed. Everything crossed. I'm hoping this makes a big thing. If I haven't already explained to y'all without making this a super long video, I haven't been super vocal about it, but with the new child on the way, every day I'm remembering over again everything with my first son and just everything I had to do and all that, and not just with this, but with the legs. I'll try to do it real quick, but for those of y'all that don't know, once again, I've got this big liner that rolls down like a wetsuit. And this thing's super fun. That's obviously holds the vacuum in. There we go. And then I have this awesome liner sleeve thing that I got to put on. So just, bear with me, and especially those of y'all that have kids. You wake up 2, 3 in the morning, baby's screaming, needs a bottle, just wants to be held, whatever have you. Wake up, swing to the side of the bed, grab the legs, grab the sleeves, put them on, stretch them out, yada, 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 yada. There's no time anymore for waking up slow and having a cup of coffee and then slowly standing up and doing my sit-to-stands, whatever have you, to be comfortable. So that's another huge, huge thing I'm really hoping these ceiling liners help with. Again, I know it's not going to be magic, but the one thing I'm really hoping on is that way I'll be able to have it right next to the bed, even though I'll have bassinet, crib, the whole nine. I'm going to do my best to have everything I can. I'm just hoping that way, long story short, it'll just be popping those sleeves on and then just putting the legs on. Then I can stand up and kind of just try to rush through the stretching thing and do what I got to do. Because if it takes me getting on the floor and scooting on my ass like I've done plenty of times before, then that's what I'm going to do. But I am totally capable of being a father, taking care of my child and all that. It's just been something that's been kind of stuck in here lately. It's just, I don't know. Something I've really been thinking about, something I've been practicing with, doing dry runs when nobody's around. So hopefully next week, once I get those, I'm going to do the little break-in period. Give it about 100 miles or so before you drop the clutch. But after that, I'm going to put these things through their paces. I'm going to try to do everything I can. I'm not doing mountain climbing or doing anything like that, but everything I can to try to push the limits without pushing myself too much. Any of y'all in the existing that have tips, any advice, I'm always down to listen. You can see I got big old ears. I'm good at that. But besides that, I've really been talking to, like I said, Titanium's Joe. Real cool guy, and he just had a baby, a son of his own, newborn, so he's going through it right now. But he has one amputation, and the other leg is like my right leg was. It was just, I don't want to speak on his part, but on my part, it was really bad off. It just, without running through it too much, just all the pain, the burning, blah, 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 missing chunks of bone, all that stuff. So obviously I opted for the second amputation for the better outcome, as they say. And he stuck with it. He is the other side of life that would have been mine, my own page in that chapter. And that's what I've been thinking about. If I never decided to do the second amputation, if they never nicked that nerve in my right foot, the second to last surgery, which, if I haven't already said that, that was another main deciding factor. They did another surgery. It was number 29, I want to say, where they went in and tried to do something else to fix this, fix that, and on accident, because of all the scar tissue, I guess they slipped and hit a nerve, and then I lost all feeling in my foot. It went from parts to nothing at all, just pain. Obviously the pain sticks around, but you lose all the sensation for whatever reason. So at that point, as crazy as it sounds, I figured, well, now I got 2 feet I can't feel, but I got one I can't do anything with. So that was, oddly enough, another big contributing factor in why I opted up for the second amputation. and just listening to a lot of his stories, because I remember days seeing my son, watching his mother teach him how to ride a bike for the first time. Like I've ventured out before and said I picked up a badminton set because I figured maybe that's something I could do with him. And man, a wheelchair just doesn't work on the grass. You can get different kinds and models and do different wheels and all that, but I'm more into the walking than trying to stay in this silly thing. I do love it though. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be able to get around half the times. I mean, there's like the other day when I did the live with Joe, I figured, well, I should get my boots on, get my legs on. You know, I say boots, but I mean legs. Just in case anybody pops in with a question or anything, or just wants to see the setup. And it was one of those days where it just wasn't happening. I wore my shrinkers all night long. I didn't eat any crazy sodium. I didn't pile down the food. I didn't have, seconds and thirds, kind of be usual. And my right leg just wouldn't go on. I haven't figured it out yet. I know it's me. But some days, depending on what y'all might be able to tell me to and help me out with, or just talk in general about, it's almost like it's so swollen that it doesn't want to go in. So no matter how hard I want to pull and push and even just stand up to try to get it in there, no matter what I can do, not that I weigh much anyways, but it's a good thing I didn't have to go anywhere, and that's something where I could pull up this gaiter thing, which is mainly just to keep it from ripping. And then I can pull this sleeve up over like this, and y'all see if I can get it close enough. It's stretchy. I mean, it's definitely wetsuit material for those of y'all that don't have it or know. So it would keep the leg on. I'd get around the house. I could do that. It's just going out in public and going long distances or walking around Walmart. That's another fun one. I don't know. It's just, I definitely hope that this works out if I haven't already said that like 5 times. But I want to keep going. I want to keep pushing. Any of y'all that are interested or want to know, or it's just cool talking back and forth with y'all, especially in the comments. And if I haven't said it too, I love hearing y'all's side of things. If y'all get one more, like if y'all are able to walk in your house without holding on to things anymore, because I remember that was a big thing. If y'all are able to get around the kitchen more, if you took a first ride and forever you've been stuck in the house for months on end and you finally got out, got in a car and just like fresh air and people, civilization, that's one of the biggest healing things in my opinion. Getting home, I mean, wow, waterworks, blubbering like crazy. I got to see my Mustang, I got to see the cat, I got to definitely see my son, because that was one of the hardest parts with COVID and with the hospital especially. Like that is the least amount of time I've ever seen my boy, my pride and joy. And if nobody can see it, I got his name tattooed on my arm. And for whatever reason, that was the only spot that wasn't wrapped up in the hospital. And I think that was for a reason. But I barely got to see him. And even when they snuck me outside a couple times in the hospital bed all wrapped up, they had so much stuff running through me. I knew it was my son. I knew it was going on. But me, myself, I wasn't there. So I can only imagine, especially for him and his age, what that was like. I mean, it was hearing him breaking down into tears shortly after when a couple motorcycles passed in traffic. That alone tore me apart inside, and I could never let that happen. That's where, the story with the mini bike and all that came through. A couple bloody scars and scrapes, and he got over it. And now he was just riding it today, actually. I got him a nice full face LS2 helmet, so he thinks he's cool. Getting sidetracked. So when that happens, I'm going to try to pop that video out. I won't just put up a bunch of shorts. We'll go into detail. And that's why I kept bringing up before with the GoPro. Because I really want to, I don't know, I guess for my own self too. I want to kind of document and show how it is with braking and shifting and putting your feet down and riding. And then maybe when I got the camera rolling and I'm out there riding around, I come to a stop and put my feet down and I say something and somebody will hear something I say like, oh, the way this feels or whatever, and that'll click for them. I don't know. Like I've said from the start, I don't do this to help myself out, even though y'all are some of the biggest inspirations ever, and y'all pick me up higher than a lot of people that I know run into or anything like that. But I just try to hope that I can help somebody. Like I said, just smile or come out of a hole, or even just do something that they said I always wanted to do it, and just see somebody's crazy ass like mine do it and say, well, if he can do it, I'm gonna give it a shot. So, but that's another thing I forgot too. Anything I do, when it comes to the way I shift, where I ride, how I ride, anything like that, I'm sure y'all know, but I'm not suggesting anybody does stuff the way I do it. I even remember watching somebody else mow my lawn for probably like the 10th time after the hospital, and that was, what was that? I think that was left leg prosthetic, and that was after the right leg amputation. Just like the Mustang with the hand throttle, I got impatient, not because my prosthetic wasn't coming in, but just because I felt useless. A big lack of pride. Like I wasn't really great at anything, but I could get stuff done. I could fix stuff. I could go to work. I could earn a paycheck. I could help people out, especially if something with a motor broke on the side of the road. Man, that was the best feeling in the world. Somebody freezing cold or just stranded out in the middle of nowhere, and you'd be able to do some silly stuff, and boom, they made it home. But I got the nerve one day to go out back, and again, not bragging, but I got so fed up with watching everybody do the stuff and just how the yard looked. I took solder, because y'all that have used it know it's real malleable and it breaks easy. So I grabbed the hand throttle on the lawnmower, wrapped the solder around that, so I kept it running, pulled it over, and I didn't touch the self-propel. Obviously, I don't want a horror movie on my hands. So it was just the throttle I wrapped up. Anything else, I took 2 ratchet straps, and I connected them to the back of my wheelchair and made sure the tension was good on both sides, so it was tracking straight, so I thought. And I'll be damned if I went around that yard pushing my wheelchair, going up and down. Now, mind you, it took me 3 days to mow just the backyard, but that was almost the most proud I felt in a long time, just because I was able to do something worth a damn, whether it's taking the trash out or mowing a little bit of the backyard. It looked like a 3-year-old with his first haircut. I got it. I definitely cut it. And again, with the solder wire, just for safety, you know, God forbid if I had to shut it off, or somebody could just grab it, pull, and it would snap that solder and shut it right down, whatever have you, or just pull the spark plug wire off, whatever. But I don't know what it is, and I know a lot of y'all got it too, especially talking to a lot of y'all and just meeting people in public. Whatever it is, whatever that fire is, or that diesel Cummins motor that's upstairs that just, it won't stop no matter what. You shut it off, and it just keeps going and going and going. Whatever it is, hold on to it. Hold on to it as strong as you can. I try to follow it as much as possible. It's so crazy having a blind feeling in your chest and in your head and even behind you, just pushing you. Do it, do it, do it. And then you look back, well, why? Nobody's telling you anything. They just keep pushing it. So, I mean, there's only one way to go, I guess. Let's just keep going in that direction. But it's the one thing I always told my son without carrying on too long. Every time he had a bad day or he got upset, especially being kids, you know, they get upset at the silliest things. So, you know what, man, no matter what in life, hopefully when you get older, you remember this one saying: when things get hard, no matter what, you push harder. And I'm just hoping one day, out of all the silly things I tell him and what I go through, especially even with my new one on the way, that maybe in a bad day, a dark, rainy, cold day, and he can't even look up, somehow my goofy voice will run through his ears, and that'll be enough to pick him up and say, you know what, the hell with this, and just do it. And I know a lot of y'all do it in your own ways too. But again, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope the beginning of it's been great. It's been a little chilly here and there, but for a lot of my subscribers, I have no right to complain about that. I'm going to try to get some more riding videos in here soon, be a little more vocal so I won't be so caught up in my head. But again, without complaining, this thing's just got me, whatever. It's not just falling out of the chair. I think a lot of it's obviously the throttle on the motorcycle and all that, so we'll get that checked out eventually. But soon, a couple more months, and there's going to be another little one, well, running around eventually, but I don't know, I can't wait. I guess I'll have to try to put some kind of baby pictures up there if I get all the permission and all that. But thanks again. You knew it was coming. Thank you to all the subscribers that have been hanging around. Thanks to all the new ones. Thanks to all the people that are just popping in. And not to be that percentage guy or anything, but I think they said like 60% of y'all that pop in and just watch aren't subscribed. You want to do it, it helps, obviously. But what it really helps is it pushes the channel in different directions. I don't know algorithm and all this computer talk stuff, but I guess somehow it helps push it out there so it's easily found, because you look up crash, y'all know you're going to see a plane crash, a car crash, a bicycle crash. Worst name to pick, but it describes me pretty good. So if y'all don't mind, again, like I said, I got to ask, please subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little bell icon down at the right there. That'll just let you know whenever I pop out a new one or not. And thank every single one of y'all. Again, if you don't mind, check out Titanium 1000, another awesome guy. And if I haven't mentioned them before, Footless Joe and Annika the amputee. Especially if I have, I'm pretty sure I have a few, if I have any female subscribers, and I'm just tattooed, whatever, grumbly, greasy, this, that, and the other. If y'all would like a more feminine touch, I've been following Footless Joe and Annika from the start too, and they are super, super helpful with everything. Other than that, I think I got my shout outs available and all done. Besides, y'all know, if you've seen the videos, that amazing stuff that Shade Tree and just everybody did for the holidays, handing out blankets. That poor guy with his shoes and just nowhere to go and homeless and all that. And like on the holidays, that's what they did. Yeah, they got to ride bikes and all that, but David and Cindy and all them, I mean, half the ride outs and half the little things, whether it's the Burts or it's like to the Shame, you know, the Dirty Shame or whatever. There's a ton of ride outs I'd love to go to. But even like I just explained the other day, sometimes I'm not going to cry about it. I just can't get my legs on, no matter what I do. So you just, whatever. Swallow your pride, get over it, go out and clean the bike. If you can't ride the bike, you might as well clean. Yeah, no, that was incredible to see that too. And I definitely want to give a shout out to Shade Tree and all them for doing that, because it wasn't warm for them either to be riding around there. For all you northerners, whatever, it was still damn chilly down here. Wow, such incredible people. I don't know with the baby and everything, but I really hope and really pray I'm going to be able to stop by in March and hit the next camp out at the Forgotten Angels. Any of y'all that don't know, please go. If you haven't seen it already, I usually wear it almost all the time. Love those people, love what they do, love everything about all those people. Bad people doing good things with a bunch of nice bikes involved too. All right, y'all. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's doing good. Crash out.